Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik from Figured Out Productions. The following video is a video of some kind, and I hope you enjoy it. Hey guys, it's Adam here. Just doing a quick video in my office instead of my usual setup. We're doing these more vlog style things that happen every once in a while. One thing that was happening as I record this is the Game Awards are going on tonight. So it's been kind of an up and down show, but I really was kind of watching for one reason. Sega shirt helps. Sega made this big tease about, oh, we have a special announcement, new era, new stuff like that. And of course, being a Sega fanatic, I wanted to see what this was all about. They suckered me in, but in a good way, as it turns out. And it's funny too, because historically, whenever Sega makes these kind of teases where they're like, oh, we have like a special big announcement, it can be like this huge letdown. I remember years ago when they were like showing this tease from this new big game, and they showed Blades of Grass, and everybody's thinking it was like some new RPG, or maybe it was the return of Shenmue or whatever it was, and it turned out to be a soccer game exclusive to Japan. And then a couple years ago, they did a very similar thing, and it turned out to be like T-shirts were going to be on sale. So, I'm always, as much as I love Sega, I'm always kind of weary with them when they come talk about their special big surprises. But I got to give them props, man. This was a good one. They basically dropped this teaser trailer. You can watch it online, but it basically features like some people playing a game. You kind of hear some Sonic-y noises in the background, then the power goes out, and then suddenly it comes back, and they're watching trailers for a whole bunch of new Sega stuff. And then it ends with the guy going, Sega! Like in the old 90s style, which props to the PR team on that one. They did a good job. But they announced 5 new games, all of which are legacy IP, which is just kind of fascinating. So, Sega fans, are you ready? This is what was announced. A brand new Jet Set Radio game. Yeah, who saw that one coming? I know there were some leaks and rumors, but I never put much stock in that kind of thing because usually it's just fan service trying to trick people. But yes, there really is a new Jet Set Radio game coming. There's a new Crazy Taxi game coming, as well as Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, and Shinobi. All those franchises are coming back with new titles. Now, there wasn't a whole lot of information beyond that. I would assume they're all coming out to modern platforms, physical, digital. I would assume at least digital. I hope there's physical editions for obvious reasons. Knowing Sega, probably, but we didn't get much else beyond that. They didn't mention which the dev teams were responsible. Knowing Sega, they probably kind of outsourced a lot of these to external teams. People are fan passion projects, which is one thing that's actually very cool about Sega, is that every time that some fan comes about and makes a game for them or makes a game that's like their IP, sometimes they shut that down, but then they end up hiring the guys and say, go make a legitimate one. That's kind of what happened with the Panzer Dragoon remake. That's what happened with the Streets of Rage 4 that we got. That's what happened with Sonic Mania, actually. It was very fascinating to see a big Sonic or Sega announcement that wasn't Sonic related and actually was like legacy. That was cool. A lot of people were like, where's our Shenmue 4? And, even as a Shenmue super fan and a big proponent of that franchise, no part of me thought that would be part of it. If Shenmue 4 ever gets announced, it's going to be through YSNet and Yu Suzuki himself. It's not going to come from them. Virtua Fighter, I know, was a distinct possibility, but that was not acknowledged here. But this is a win. I think most of us were hoping for like one decent IP to be returned. I know people were talking about Nights into Dreams, whatever, but Jet Set Radio, that's your big winner. Crazy Taxi, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Shinobi. That's pretty good. So that's something to be pretty happy about. And they also said that there was more stuff coming, and a lot of stuff's in development and all that. So I'll give Sega props here. They are leaning into their legacy, and hopefully this is the beginning of them doing it and not just a let's re-release Genesis games type of way, or Mega Drive games, depending on where you are. But they're actually revisiting a lot of those IPs, farming them out potentially to fans that are also developers who can work on a lot of that stuff. And you got to question what's next for that. Obviously let them get these games made and see if this whole project of new era, as it were, actually works. And no, this doesn't mean any sort of new console or anything crazy like that. Let's just keep it realistic here. But it's cool to see all the same. So, I guess I'd be curious what everybody out there, your Sega IPs, not included in these. So if we forget these for a second, what would you want to come back? I would assume it wouldn't be Sonic, because obviously Sonic's always he just had new games and he always will. For me, it's obvious it's Shenmue, but I don't think they would have anything to do with that. So I look at some of these others and I go like, well, who else, what else would you want? And I'm genuinely curious what other people would say, like which franchises do you miss that used to be big? The one I always throw out there, and it's never had a second game, But Rystar, I'd love to see that make a comeback. I know a lot of people probably mention Nights into Dreams as their choice. Maybe something like Bug, if you're for Saturn fans. There's a lot of Sega IPs. The interesting thing about Sega IPs is they're not usually all that famous other than Sonic. You kind of already have to be a Sega fan to know who most of these characters and IPs are. But I imagine this video will be targeted primarily to Sega fanatics, so since you are the target audience, you tell me. What franchises would you like to see make a comeback through this means? And are you excited about any of these? Which ones are you going to pick up? Are you going to pick up all of them? What does this mean to you? Are you excited about it? Just tell me thoughts, because I got to be honest, man. I was sitting there when they announced all that. I was like, at first, when they were like, oh, it's, you know, maybe I thought it was like a new trailer for another Sonic movie or another video game movie. But because they are talking about they want to do a lot more movies now because of the success of the Sonic films, which is cool, and that's a whole separate discussion. But the idea that, you know, once they dropped that first bit, the first thing you saw was Jet Set Radio, and I was like, oh, wow. Okay, that's a win. I wasn't expecting that. And then it just kept going. I got to give him props, man. I did not expect that. So, yeah, everybody's thoughts out there. Very curious. And again, the question I pose is, which franchise, other than those, would you like to resurrect? And I would say eliminate things like Sonic or Yakuza or Shenmue for reasons that they either already do come out regularly, or in the case of Shenmue, it's likely to be announced by Yu Suzuki in the event that it ever occurs, which, by the way, I personally do think Shenmue 4 will probably happen. Shenmue 5 I'm not so confident about, but Shenmue 4 I do believe in. Anyway, that's irrelevant. So, yeah, genuinely curious what you guys think. And if you guys watched the Game Awards in general, if you liked it, or any of the thoughts on it, just curious. So, and if you guys like these occasional little what's going on in video game type of videos, if you want me to keep doing this, or if you're like, yeah, stop doing this and stop filming in the office, the sound quality's better, but other than that, stop doing this. Any thoughts at all? I want to hear it, because I'm just thinking about different directions to take the channel, and making more content, making sure you guys have more to watch. And by the way, December 8th, tomorrow at the time I record this, is my birthday, and I'll be doing a nice live stream, so I hope a lot of you guys come over and check that out. Yeah, I don't know how long that will go exactly, but it should be a lot of fun, because I tend to enjoy doing that. My record, I think, once was like 12 hours. I don't know if that's going to happen again. I am getting old. I'm going to be 37. But I am curious all the same if you guys checked this out, or if you're interested in that, or just any sort of updates on the channel in general. So if you guys could do me a favor, though, if you could like this video, share it around possibly with other Sega fans, or maybe go back and watch some of those digital ones. I know people really like those, and I think that that's an important message, so you can share those. But anyway, like this video, comment down below again. I want to hear your take on all this. Subscribe if you've never done that before, and then check out all my social media stuff in the description. I've got Twitter, obviously, which I posted over there, by the way, about this, being a little more active on there. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord. Join my Discord, nice fun community over there. Facebook, people aren't using as much anymore, but I still have the fan page that I promote stuff on over there, so you don't miss videos. Obviously, I have Spreadshirt, so if you want to buy any sort of merch or whatever, and I have Patreon, which I really appreciate the support on that in particular, just so we can keep the channel running as efficiently as possible. But yeah, thank you guys so much for support. All that stuff's in the description. Check it out. Click on me. Support me if you can, if you're willing. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.